here's the problem. We're at a place of enormous inflation that we haven't seen in a really long time. How can ticket prices go up 2 and 3 times the amount of what I make in my day? If I cannot keep up with the rate of what things cost, my paycheck's not going up. How do you sustain it? You don't. And what ends up
you
happening,
live in debt and you jack up your credit cards, and the interest rates are keeping the credit card companies alive.
And then they own you.
Welcome to Girls Gone Gritty. I'm Farley Boyle, girl mom.
And I'm Jennifer Brenius, boy mom.
Together, we're Team Boyle-Renius. Each other's ride
or die. This is where grit gets real. We don't just talk, we do it.
We're here for the messy stories, the hard-fought lessons, and the courage it takes to keep showing up.
Especially when it's uncomfortable. We bring gratitude and attitude to everything we do.
We jump in head first, unafraid, and are all in all the time.
We bring it on and get it on, diving into unscripted conversations on just about everything.
We don't just talk grit, we live it.
We put the it in grit.
So let's get gritty.
Yay, and welcome to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty. I'm sitting here beside Farley Boyle, my co-host, confidant, and everything that a girl needs. We've had so much fun kicking off summer from Bring It On Studios, and we're bringing on some more summer fun. And
I am a different person when there's sunshine, and so are you.
Yes.
We like to be tan, we like to be blonde, and I'm heading to Nantucket to move my child that just got back from Australia into a soft entry.
Yes.
A soft re-entry from coming abroad into another la la land, but a vacation-centric, amazing backdrop for a seasonal job opportunity.
It's summer in the Northeast, especially when you're a suburb of New York City. People leave New York City this time of year. So anybody who's getting a job, even if you are coming out of college, you usually aren't starting your job until late July, early August at earliest.
If you're lucky.
Because people are leaving the city. So I think it's a great soft entry. And Mac and my son Jack, they're choosing different paths to start off on. And that's a testament. And I don't think either one of them has asked us for $1, and they're finding their own way. So I think it's a beautiful thing. And each child, if you have multiple, is a different version of you in some light.
And we got a lot of Knicks celebrations going on.
Oh
so
my gosh, craziness. And as we're taping this, we still don't know where this is going to go. But I agree with my son. He and I were talking about the conspiracy theories that abound. And when it comes to the pricing and everything else that we'll get to later in the episode, that we think this is going to go to 7. And so does Nate Burleson and of Channel 2, where there's just too much money to be left on the table to not have it go to 7.
I hope it's not fixed and we're going to trade off W's and L's for loot.
I wonder what the prediction markets say, the poly markets say about that. I'm on the betting side of it's going to go to 7.
Oh, okay. I'm going to take the under on that.
Okay. All right.
Because I still have faith in mankind and that everything isn't fixed. I'm hoping.
Before that part of our episode, when we talk about this craziness and dynamic pricing, let's go back to Earth and talk about some good things that are happening.
Our top 3 is always keeping people guessing. What are we coming out with this week? Starting off at number 3, finally, penmanship matters again in New Jersey. We talk about this all the time.
Me too. I'm happy. I have to thank my brother for putting this on my radar. He's an active listener every week, and he was excited. He's an elementary school principal in Warren, New Jersey, and his wife is a teacher, and they're give back humans. When they took away penmanship, we knew it was a problem because the art of writing and articulating it, understanding it, you have to put it in your head, put it in your hand, put it on a piece of paper in order to get it out. And when we lost that, the penmanship of my kids went south. Boys aren't great to begin with. The girls have more apt to be pretty. Just being able to write your name became a lost art. That's a problem. I love the fact that this is back on the curriculum for grades 3 through 5. And if you have accommodations, you'll be given them because we are such a texting and typing nation.
I think you can look at somebody's penmanship and recognize whether or not they might have a learning disability or some type of problem.
Well, a lot of our doctors have terrible penmanship, so maybe there's the bell curve on that too.
I think they just scribble because they're tired of
because they can.
I do think that there are people that have an issue that manifests on paper, and you can see it a little more clearly when they're younger. And if it's harder for them to stay within the lines and to do what they are being told to do, it could be a red flag that some further exploration needs to happen. And that was the case with one of my children.
But as far as that is concerned, the fine motor skills for some kids come later. So I do like the fact they're starting 3rd grade to 5th grade, because the boys, they don't care.
Oh, yeah.
They don't care to stay in the
Kindergarten
lines
for a second.
whatever. And I hope that cursive, not only penmanship, but cursive writing becomes back to in vogue, because it's such a pretty part of humanity, in my opinion.
It is. And it actually means you're growing up and becoming a little more adult.
Yes, absolutely.
But I do love to print. I have a printed signature. Number 2, GoFundMe, GiveSendGo. Do you know where your money is really going when you are contributing to these GoFundMes and other fundraising platforms?
I have to be honest, and I apologize for people that are using it in a good way, that have an actual real true need, and they're reaching out to their community, and the community is giving back. I think it's a beautiful thing. But what I do worry about is the predators can come in and almost appeal to the good nature of people. And once you give people money on these platforms, they can use it for whatever they want. Farley and I were digging a bit deeper on this, because when she had her charity, her 501c3, Chase for Life, we were not able to use the money because she has to hit her goals, because she's a legitimate charity. If you're giving these FundMe pages any of your hard-earned dollars, they can use it to take a trip. I needed transportation. And you hope and pray that they're using it because they really need it.
There are very good people out there, but there are also scumbags. And I'm going to put a scumbag on your radar. Somebody is using Moose Boyle, my viral
sensation
lab. Actually, not even his name. Let's just say his likeness, all my videos, everything that I've posted of him. They are saying that his name is Buddy. And for those that would like to support his cancer journey, give on GoFundMe and raise money on behalf of Buddy's cancer journey. And he is getting an exceptional amount of looks on TikTok. And I haven't even branched over to TikTok with Moose, because Instagram is more than enough for me. He's taking over TikTok as Buddy, the cancer patient.
And you have to be careful with these types of FundMe things, especially when we look at what's happening with Moose Boyle. They'll put out a fundraiser for a short period of time, act as if they haven't gotten their goal, take the money and shut it back down. You don't have to hit your goal in order to get the money out.
See, I did not know that, because my experience was we didn't hit our goal and we didn't get it.
Because you were a 501c3 and you have rules and obligations and filings that you have to do. If I'm out there asking for people to donate to me, it's your good faith. Do it in good faith and receive it in good faith.
There's a lot of scuttlebutt right now about Carmela Anthony and his family GoFundMe page. It's actually not GoFundMe. It was called GiveSendGo, and it's an international fundraising platform. Why were they, within 2 weeks of him killing another human, seeking funding? Initially, there was a rumor going around that they moved into a gated community in a $900,000 home. They had a $1.4 million ask. They raised $650,000 of that, which they received. The campaign has come down, and they were using it for pre-legal fees and pre-trial needs.
Well, yeah. And GoFundMe specifically has a rider where you cannot use it for criminal defense costs, and where this other GiveSendGo
would allow
is
it.
more lenient on that. I don't know at this moment, and taking the Carmelo Anthony verdict and situation out, I don't know how I feel about using it for legal expenses, because in this country, the better legal team you have costs money. And if you are in a situation where you don't have money and you get a crappy attorney, then you're in trouble.
They're using a public defender is what I read. We'll have to fact check.
And unfortunately, therein lies the problem, because the high-paying attorneys know how to work the system in which we have. So I guess the takeaway on that is be careful who you donate to.
Yeah.
Check your sources.
It could be going towards vacations, and Buddy's
having a good time.
It's not even Buddy. It's the scumbag behind the soliciting.
Well, Buddy doesn't have cancer. Well, the Moose Boyle Buddy
does not
have cancer,
and,
just so we're all good.
And Truck the dog.
He's doing a really good job.
Name and image and likeness as well. Yes.
He's hopping around. He's still present. So follow Moose Boyle if you haven't.
Number 1. What could be considered a down payment or purchasing a house for regular people looks like a ticket cost at the Knicks or the World Cup games.
Okay, this is actually insane. When we were talking about our top 3, it's what allowed us to pivot on our topic today, because the ticket prices for these events has gotten to the point of actual insanity. When you are spending $1 million, whether it's for charity or otherwise, and listen, good for the charity, but when that's the going rate, for
$1 million for
walking
2
in the
floor
door
tickets.
to a Knicks game, or some of the World Cups are at $7,000 for nosebleeds at C-level teams. It's not even the final. The finals are going for upwards of $80,000, and we're not even close to it. So it's just going to continue to tick up because they're very sneaky about the way they do things, but it does feel very tone deaf to most people watching these games that this is what Hollywood and the royal elite in life are able to spend. I did find out that Mayor Mondani, and he said this, that he got his ticket straight from MSG. So how does that work? I didn't even realize you could get tickets straight from MSG. Yes. Thank you. Because Ticketmaster, which is our episode 53, you can go back and listen to
everything.
it. They hijack everything.
Can you go to the venue? Like, we can go to the Stone Pony.
Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody.
And buy tickets.
Don't tell anybody.
Well, I'm using this as an example.
We've said it before.
I'm trying to understand. Can you really go to MSG and purchase tickets at a ticket office?
I'm sure you couldn't do it for the Knicks final.
I've never heard of anybody going directly to MSG to buy it. Hey, offline it. He's the mayor.
But again, it goes back to the fact that I don't like that, because if we're going back to our 250-year anniversary, it's for the people, by the people. They should abide by the same rules as everybody else. They should not have special favors.
That's never gonna.
It's not
reality.
Okay. But if I can't buy a ticket at MSG, no mayor, president, or government official should be there. So we're also going to go a little deeper on that.
I don't know.
Annoying.
What we're going to put on your table first, we're going to define dynamic pricing for people that don't know what it is, because it's affecting everything from real estate to concert tickets to sports tickets, and even what you're purchasing on your grocery store shelves. Dynamic pricing, also known as surge demand or time-based pricing, is a revenue management strategy where businesses continuously adjust prices for goods or services in real time. Using AI and algorithms, companies update pricing based on supply, demand, competitor rates, and customer behavior.
Yeah. And the airlines were the first to implement this across the board, and they did a really good job. If you were looking to book an airline ticket and then you went in again, and then your friends looked, and all of a sudden the price kept
Ooh, there's interest. Everybody wants to go to Florida.
And it was clearly the airline industry. And Ticketmaster has always had their own dynamic pricing structure because they are a monopoly and they can pretty much do whatever they want. Ticketmaster owns StubHub, and then they buy all the tickets, and now they have dynamic pricing on a secondary market. Therein lies part of the problem.
Anywhere there's cookies, delete your cache. It's tracking you. They're still going to have your footprint, unfortunately, everywhere you land, how long you land, what you're interested in, what you like, where you spend your money.
And the bigger thing, don't forget, they know where you live. So if I live in New Jersey, my pricing might be different than if I live in the Midwest or California. And I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's different. And therein lies, again, part of the problem. What's the price? What is the price for anybody who wants to enter a venue, anybody who wants to get on an airline, anybody who wants to buy something? Why is the price different?
There's a face value, but that face value has become a question mark. And when demand is high and prices go up, and when demand drops, prices go down, they're watching what we're doing and what we want and what we like. And we're seeing a big trend in real estate where we live right now. In fact, I'm in the housing market, and I've been looking, and I've put some bids on some places. And it seems as though the trend is put a number out that's realistic, something that people will genuinely say, hey, that's reasonable, that makes sense. And now you've got 20 people bidding on the same house, and each place I put a bid on has come and said, we need your best and final. So you can throw your hat in the ring, but it's whoever is coming with the bigger number wins.
Yes.
And you have to figure that out. And it's not fun.
No. The real estate market in New Jersey is not fun because of this pricing situation, and because they allow other people to come in once the market has been made. And then the other complication is that we also have the 3-day attorney review, where if you enter a 3-day attorney review, I can still make another offer. And that has created an additional surplus of funds that come in after you think you've bought the house. After you're in attorney review, people are coming in. And it really is lied on the person's moral compass as to whether or not they'll take another bid or an offer. And I have a problem with transparency. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean in a bad way of just the supply of information. There's a global market for everything. And the algorithms are tracking all of it. The regular person trying to do the regular thing is already behind before they even walk in the door to purchase anything anymore.
Even the best and final offer that we got, they came back to us and said, hey, we'll give it to you if you get an inspection for your own information. You cannot do anything with regards to the inspection with credits. We'll allow you to do an inspection, but it's really just for you.
Right.
And they were trying to manipulate us into agreeing to that. And then we would have been the winner. And we weren't okay with it, because what if you find an oil tank that's been left and now you have to remediate? And so we weren't okay with it and we walked away. But it's a seller's market across the board.
Yeah.
From sports venues to concert venues to homes to whatever product is hyped up in the market that you want. And now there's a market for it. So they're going to jack up the price.
And the other part of that, when it comes to ticket pricing, not as much as the real estate market, but the secondary market of things. And we referenced this on an episode before about the purchasing of Swatch watches, where if you buy something at a price and you know that as soon as you buy it, you can resell it for 10x, there's an incentive to have that price get bid up. And that's what that problem becomes. The person who really wants to live in the house or go to the event and who's been a long time proponent of the event or the location, they get boxed out because there are people that are investing in it, not to live or use it, but to resell it. And there's an inherent moral problem in that, in my opinion. So we've said it for 2 years. I would love to see some of these monopoly situations of Ticketmaster be eroded. I'd like to see some more rule-based tactics on buying and selling a house. If you put a house on the market for a price, there should be a cap or a ceiling.
I don't know if that's going to happen. That doesn't seem realistic. Look what just happened in Little Silver.
$500,000 made page 6 of the Post. It becomes a feeding frenzy and it becomes unsustainable. Here's the problem. We're at a place of enormous inflation that we haven't seen in a really long time. How can ticket prices go up 2 and 3 times the amount of what I make in my day? If I cannot keep up with the rate of what things cost, my paycheck's not going up. How do you sustain it? You don't. And what ends up
you
happening,
live in debt and you jack up your credit cards, and the interest rates are keeping the credit card companies alive.
And then they own you.
Trying not to live beyond your means has become almost impossible these days.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, my dad had one credit card, and it was an American Express, and he did not buy anything he couldn't afford, and he paid off his credit card bill in full every month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very practical way of living. And we need to go back to that model of not over living and extending ourselves because of credit. And it is a broken cycle. However, there's always going to be somebody that's going to buy that house. And there's always going to be somebody that's going to pay that premium for a front row ticket, because there are people that can afford to do these things like that.
Well, because of the social media and everything I see, I'm just as valuable as anybody else. I belong to be in that venue. I deserve to be in that house. You're not better than me. And everybody expects to have what everybody else has. And you see it so much more visually than our parents did.
Well, that's where the lottery system would be great. Not realistic, but
or
maybe.
Having to wait out online. And we've said that. Or having to actually show
dues.
Vested interests,
Right.
and not just being able to show up with a bag full of cash and that's who wins.
I like the fact that at Ohio State, all the students go into a lottery system, as do most colleges, with regards to football tickets and whatnot. So you could be the lucky winner and you get to go to the Michigan-Ohio State game and not pay a premium. Or you can be the person that sells your ticket for a bigger number because you don't want to go to the game and you were given this opportunity to potentially make money.
Yeah. And at Florida, they have the student tickets. And then for the basketball games, you have to actually get in line, and they allow you one wingman, and you could go to the bathroom or go get us something to eat. We could exchange spots and both of us would get in, but we can't let in 6 of our friends. If 6 of our friends want to wait in line, everybody needs a wingman.
I like that.
I like that.
I do too.
I think that's so fantastic. Not only does it build relationships, it builds respect
It's become pay to play everywhere.
Yes, it has.
If you have the funds, then you can make it happen. And there's something to be said about season ticket holders getting the priority. Corporations, you can't compete against corporate dollars and the advertisers and all of that. But the regular person that's living a nice life and working hard should be able to afford the same things on some level. Be able to attend, to go, be able to afford a seat somewhere.
Yeah, I agree. And
instead of getting priced out.
Yeah. And I do think what's going to end up happening, and just because the population has done what it's done, is that we're going to see the growth of all of these sports teams. We're going to see other markets pop up, like the banana baseball situation that seems so ridiculous. And they created this offshoot of baseball that the rules are different and the crowd participates and it's selling out.
It's like the
stadiums.
Globetrotters.
Right.
Yeah.
But people want to go engage people. It's, community based, activity based, event based. And I do think you'll see a lot more of that. And because of that, Girls Gone Gritty is going to be doing a lot more in-person events. So you got to be looking for those too, because we're going to have a lot to roll out so that you can get out and gritty with us and be a part of a community that we want you to be a part of. Well, I want the universe to get control and involved in our Got Grit Award winner, because they're always somebody we're highlighting that deserve our recognition.
This week's Got Grit Award recipient is Emma Kok. So Emma, K-O-K, that's her last name. That's how you spell it. Carries a paralyzed stomach and a medical device, but on the stage, she carries the hope of millions. At 15, Emma suffered from an incurable disease that requires her to be fed through a tube for nearly the entire day. When she sings Viola, she is utilizing the vocal cry phenomenon, a specific frequency that triggers the brain's mirror neurons, forcing us to feel her vulnerability as our own. She sings like you can't even explain it. We're going to put the link so that you can actually watch this video, because her voice is so overpowering, yet she has this paralyzed stomach. Think about where your voice comes from. Think about your vocal power, and think about having a stomach that's paralyzed and needs a feeding tube all day long. Basically, they're saying that it's a triumph of human will over biological circumstances. Music affects us more than we realize because it speaks the truth that the body is fragile, but the spirit is not. And some songs change people permanently. This is her song. You can see people in the crowd weeping when she sings it. And it's the way that she deals with her set of cards. She gives back to everybody with a magical performance that feels like you're watching the greatest opera singer of all time. You don't even realize you're being transformed by watching this medical miracle happen only when she's on stage.
That's incredible. Her voice is just not only iconic, but it's mesmerizing. I can't even put words to how beautiful she is. I never heard of a paralyzed stomach, but
never in my life.
It's insane.
Well, we're going to share the video so that you guys can all be moved.
Well, hopefully our lyrics move you. I know this is one of my favorite songs, and it was at my wedding. I'm going to read a couple of the different groups of lyrics without reading the refrain. May God bless and keep you always. May your wishes all come true. May you always do for others and let others do for you. May you build a ladder to the stars and climb on every rung. May you grow up to be righteous. May you grow up to be true. May you grow up to know the truth and see the light surrounding you. May you always be courageous, stand up, and be strong. May you always stay forever young.
Forever young.
I mean, it's really like one of the most beautiful songs.
I love that. That was in your wedding.
Yeah. My mother-in-law danced with my husband with that song. For those of you that don't know, because it's made popular by Rod Stewart, the Bob Dylan version. That's a little bit slower, a little bit less groovy. And a lot of people don't know that it's Bob Dylan that wrote that. He is a beautiful lyricist. Whether you agree with the way he acts politically is another story, but his iconic music is amazing.
I think we should all channel Forever Young for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to getting back in front of you again on Thursday. See ya.
Peace out.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Girls Gone Gritty.
Visit us on Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok.
If this episode hits home, share it with someone who needs to get gritty.
Own it and put the it in grit.
See you next episode.